This is the story of a car that had to replace the original Beetle, which is no small task. That meant that when Volkswagen were making their all-new people's car for the modern day, they wanted to make sure that it would be a success. And with numbers like 35 million sold and still counting, let's just say that the Golf was a hole-in-one. We start our journey in 1974 when the original Mark I Golf and its A1 platform mates were released to critical acclaim, with the original Golf from 1974 to 1984 selling 6.99 million units for the Golf alone. That's a lot. For context, the A1 platform was the name of the shared chassis that was used among other Volkswagens of the time, like the Golf, Jetta, Passat, Scirocco, and the Caddy. Journalists and consumers alike loved the Golf and praised it for its price, practicality, efficiency, handling, and styling. To the uninitiated, it might look like a stupid little box on wheels, but it was actually designed by the great Giorgetto Giugiaro, who has designed cars for BMW, Lancia, Di Tommaso, and even DeLorean. But also Hyundai. When the Golf came out, it was made to replace the seemingly unkillable Beetle, as it was, well, a car from 1938, still being sold in the 1970s. Yeah. So, Volkswagen thought to take the idea of a people's car like the Beetle and modernize it. So, instead of a pain-in-the-ass air-cooled engine, it was now water-cooled. Rear-engine rear-wheel drive became front-engine front-wheel drive, but the idea of a single platform for their entire lineup stayed. The Beetle platform was used for the Type 3 triplets, the Beetle, of course, the Karmann Ghia, the Type 2 bus, and the 181, or the Thing. Volkswagen kept the idea of a single platform, modernized it, and created the A1. But for a moment, let's just slightly let go of our sensibilities and forget about the 20 or so engine options, which includes diesels, yes, available for the Golf. What if you wanted to go fast with a cheap family car? In the 1960s, during the muscle car era, that certainly was an option, but with cars becoming more compact and economical, a 7-liter V-motor in a large saloon car wasn't going to cut it anymore. Well, let's just fast forward in time a little bit, when a 6-man crew consisting of some engineers and a marketing exec named Anton Conrad had thought that maybe regular people like you or like me would want to go fast for less, and so they pitched the idea of a Golf with a bigger engine to the higher-ups that would also be aimed towards the youth market. But like most of these stories, the guys in the boardroom didn't think it would sell. They were wrong. So, he and his engineers took a regular Golf and put a 1.6-liter fuel-injected inline-4 from Audi that made 110 horsepower and shoved it under the hood. That allowed this Golf to achieve top speeds of 113 miles per hour. Keep in mind that the base 1.1 Golf was only making 50 horsepower. So that tiny little car, and yes, if you see one in person, it's pretty small, that only weighs 1,786 pounds with more than double the power and that much more displacement made it a rocket ship back in the day, and it could be bought by an average Joe. They also tightened up the suspension and gave it bigger brakes to make it handle better, and thus it was forever known as the GTI, the original hot hatch. Volkswagen initially planned to only make 5,000 GTIs, but instead ended up selling 420,000 Mark I GTIs due to its popularity. That is a lot more than intended, and spawned a whole new wave of cars that were fun and affordable, the hot hatch. The original GTI certainly is an icon for enthusiasts everywhere, and while this might be a bit of a controversial opinion, but I don't really think so, I think that the original Mark I Golf GTI is one of the greatest and most influential cars ever. Fight me in the comments. Although, before I finish, I do have to mention the super cool Golf Cabrio, aka, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the bitch basket. I am serious. That is its nickname. God. Anyways, the Cabrio was introduced in 1979 as a Golf with a soft top, but here's the strange thing about it. Even when the Mark II generation Golf was being sold in the early to late 80s, the Cabrio from the 70s, keep in mind, was being sold right up until 1994. Yeah, it outlived an entire generation of Golf. But hey, look at it this way, more Mark 1s in the world. Well, you made it to the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe, like it, and share it with someone who might also enjoy. I hope you stick around because I have more automotive content on the way. See y'all next time. Bye.
Seven-liter V9.